Hello, sports fans, and welcome to Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football postgame show. Well, Jameis Winston had a night to remember and one to forget. Jaquan McMillan returned an interception, 44 yards for a game-sealing touchdown with a minute 48 remaining. Denver spoiled career best performances by Winston and former Broncos wide receiver Jerry Jeudy in beating the Cleveland Browns Monday night, 41-32 on Empire Field at Mile High. The good for Winston, he threw for a franchise record 497 yards and 4 touchdowns. The not so good, he tossed 2 interceptions. That Denver return for scores. The Broncos had 3 picks for 171 interception return yards against him. It was my fault, Winston said. I've got to play better. And he knows that he does have to play better. It was fully reminiscent of his best and worst year in 2019 with Tampa Bay when he led the NFL in yards, 5,109, and was second in TD passes, 33, but also led the league in picks with 30. I know I'm better than this, Winston said. I'm just praying for the Lord to deliver me from pick sixes. That's not me. Phenomenal game on offense. Do some great things, but I mess it up. Meanwhile, Jeudy had 9 catches for 235 yards, the most in NFL history by a receiver against his former team, and a TD. Jeudy, who played his first 4 seasons with Denver, was booed every time he caught the ball. The only boo Jeudy said, Jeudy said, when they know there's something great in you. Nick Bonito intercepted Winston and took it 71 yards to the house late in the second quarter. Winston became the first NFL quarterback to throw for 400 or more yards with 4 or more TD passes and 2 pick sixes. And Bo Nix finished with 294 yards passing, including a gorgeous deep ball from his own end zone that Marvin Mims Jr. hauled in for a 93-yard touchdown. Nix also threw 2 picks. Broncos, who are 8-5, enter their bye week in the 7th and final playoff spot in the AFC. Denver has a 76% probability of making the postseason, according to the NFL. The team hasn't been in the playoffs since winning the Super Bowl after the 2015 season. It wasn't perfect by any means, but we were able to finish. Broncos coach Sean Payton said, big plays, the game was full of them. Winston surpassed the Browns' record of 457 yards passing set by Josh McCown in 2015 against Baltimore. He threw a 70-yard TD to Jeudy and a pair of scores to tight end David Njoku, and falling to 2-3 as a starter, and for the Browns, who fell to 3-9 last night since replacing injured Deshaun Watson. Cleveland led 32-31 on Winston's 5-yard TD pass to Nick Chubb. When Knicks drove the Broncos to the 9 on 4th and 1, Peyton lined up to go for it, but changed his mind after a timeout. Will Lutz kicked a go-ahead field goal of 27 yards with 2:54 remaining. Winston and the Browns had plenty of time to drive for a winning score, but Winston's throw to Elijah Moore was late, and McMillan jumped the route. He fell to the turf untouched after making the catch, got up and sprinted to the end zone. The fact they did it twice was kind of crazy, Mick said, of the interception returns. I'm over there sitting. The benches have the heaters over there. I don't even have to move. It's pretty nice for the offense when they bail us out like that. Jeudy, a first-round pick in 2020, was traded to Cleveland this spring after an up and down 4 seasons with Denver. He punched at the goal line before falling backward into the end zone on his long TD catch. He also caught a 2-point conversion to pull the Browns within 28 to 25. And we had a plan going into it in terms of trying to get him open. I thought the plan was solid, Cleveland Browns coach Kevin Stefanski said. Jerry executed the plan really well, got him open. Jameis made some throws, and it's hard in the losing effort to feel good about anything. The play by Judy came just 11 seconds after Nix threw a laser from about 4 yards deep in his end zone to Mims at around the 42. At around the 42, Mims caught it in stride, raced to the end zone, and jumped into the stands to celebrate. The Broncos relied on their running game in the first half with Javonte Williams and Michael Burton scoring short TDs. It was Burton's second rushing TD of his 10-year career. The Browns fell to 4-13 in the Mile High City. Dustin Hopkins missed a 47-yard field goal to left on Cleveland's opening drive. Nix, who has earned the NFL Rookie of the Week 3 consecutive times through his first interception since November 3rd, chased by Myles Garrett. Nix tried to force a pass to Tony Franklin over the middle. Denzel Ward reached in and deflected the ball into the air, and it was caught by Greg Newsome II. Winston and Judy got rolling early with a 44-yard completion on the Browns' first offensive play. That wasn't supposed to go to me, Judy explained. Winston delivered a fiery pregame oration to his teammates, yelling, "It's got to come from your heart. I don't care about no mile high. I care about how the Browns get down." Broncos wide receiver Jamari Thirst had a shoulder injury, left the game. Ward had a calf injury, and safety Grant Dopit had a head injury of both off the field on Denver's late drive for the go-ahead field goal. Broncos safety, it was Browns wide receiver Jamari Thirst. Broncos safety Brandon Jones sustained a groin injury. So, well, the Browns are have to regroup, but it's basically over for this year for us. We're not going to make the playoffs. But the Browns will be at Pittsburgh this Sunday to take on the Steelers. And the Broncos, after their bye, will host Indianapolis Colts on December 15th. And right now, I got to give the game balls to, I wish I wanted to give them to the Browns, but I got to give them to Denver. Bo Mix, 18 of 35 carries and attempts, 294 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. I think it's Jalen McLaughlin, 14 attempts, 84 yards, and Marvin Mims, 3 receptions, 105 yards, 1 touchdown. But I'm going to tell you how the Browns did. Jameis Winston, 34 of 58 carries and attempts, 497 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Jerome Ford, 9 attempts, 41 yards. And Jerry Jeudy, 9 receptions, 1 touchdown, 235 yards. But they were making a lot of mistakes, but they were making some good plays, but they got to finish and win these games. That's what they were saying in the 5th quarter last night, and I agree with that. They've got to finish it out. They have got to win these games. So, but we do have a plethora of football for Week 14, kicking off with the Thursday night game. The Green Bay Packers are in Ford Field in Detroit to take on the Detroit Lions. Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets are at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami to take on the Dolphins. Kicking off the 1 o'clock games on this Sunday. The Kirk Cousins and the Falcons are in Minnesota to take on Sam Darnold and the Vikings, excuse me. The Minnesota Vikings, not the Atlanta Falcons, take on the Minnesota Vikings. The Derek Carr, the Saints are in are at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. They take on Daniel Jones and the Giants. The Carolina Panthers are in Philadelphia to take on Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. The Browns are in Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. The Raiders are in Tampa Bay to take on Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers. Rounding out the 1 o'clock games, the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence are in Tennessee to take on the Titans. Geno Smith for the 4 o'clock games, the late afternoon. Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks are in Arizona to take on Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. Josh Allen and the Bills are in SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California to take on Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears are at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California to take on Brock Purdy and the 49ers. Sunday Night Football. Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers are in Arrowhead Stadium to take on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. And Monday Night Football. Next Monday night, Joe Burrow and the Bengals are in AT&T Stadium in Big D to take on the Dallas Cowboys. So that's this week of football coming up for Week 14. But the Browns do have to win these games, and I feel they're going to have to draft a quarterback in this next year's draft in 2025 because they're liking the guy from Alabama and also the guy from the Louisiana University from LSU. So we'll see what they do. And Jameis Winston, we don't know if he'll be back with us next year because he's only on a 1-year contract. But they could resign him. You never know. We will just have to wait and to see. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football postgame show. I'll be back Thursday with the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football pregame show before the Packers and Lions game gets underway, and then the postgame to follow. After the game is concluded between the Packers and Lions. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.